somos abençoados para apresentar a conferência perspicaz intitulada Padres Católicos deveriam pregar o verdadeiro Evangelho do Senhor Jesus, parte 1 de 8, em Entre Mestra e Discípulos, dada em inglês em 19 de novembro de 2021.
Hello, Master.
Hello?
Hi, Master.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you,
Hi,
Master?
I don't know. I cannot think too much about myself. Truly.
Oh,
I'm
Master.
still alive, I guess. Yeah?
Oh, yes, Master.
We are always happy to hear your voice, Master.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Same here. It's just I can't afford it all the time
Yes, Master.
Yes,
because
Master.
of timing. How are you? Are you still happy?
Yes,
Master.
we are.
We are good and happy, Master. Thank
We are
you.
very grateful and happy, Master. Thank you.
Me too. I'm grateful and happy for anything, anything.
Yes.
Even
Yes.
good food, or not good food, as long as there's some food at some good place, peaceful and safe to stay, to work. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's all we need, actually, physically speaking, yeah?
Yes,
Yes, Master.
And have some time for meditation and some little time to chat. Recently, I just talk to the boys all the time, so I thought I had better talk to you girls or you'll be jealous and I'll be in trouble. Who knows, yes. You think, oh, she loves the boys, she doesn't love us. I don't love anybody, okay? I love animals, people who suffer so much. And I love all the innocent and helpless babies, like unborn babies, unborn humans. They are humans, they're just small.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like the fruits that are not completely ripe,
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yes.
but
Master.
they are still fruits. An apple is an apple.
Yes.
Yes.
A human is a human.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they make me so sad. This world, wherever I think of, wherever I look, there's so many bad things going on, so much evil, I cry a lot all the time. I should not, because I should take care of my eyes. Just
Oh, yes.
sometimes it's so bad, I cannot help it. Yeah.
Yes, it's very sad.
Yeah. Is there anything you want me to explain or help you in any way in our work or in any other things?
Yes, Master. If you would like to answer some questions related to the unborn children's rights.
Oh, yeah. That's just what I've been thinking all this time. Yeah, sure. These are woman stuff.
Yes.
Even though we don't have any children here or anywhere, it's just that it's a woman issue, no?
Yes,
Yes,
it
Master.
is.
Then being a woman, we cannot not feel sympathetic
That's right.
Right. Yes,
to
Master.
these unfortunate mothers and babies,
Yes.
Yes.
unborn babies. Even unborn babies, they are humans already. So to kill humans is a grave sin.
Right.
Yes, it is.
Any religion would tell you that.
Yes.
Okay, ask me then.
Yes.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
At a meeting of American Catholic bishops in Baltimore, the Pope's top envoy to the United States urged them to listen ahead of a debate on adopting a document about Holy Communion.
America's Roman Catholic bishops have approved new guidance on who should receive Holy Communion. The issue stems from a debate over whether Catholic politicians who support abortion rights, like President Biden, should be able to receive the sacrament. The new guidelines do not directly bar them from receiving communion. However, it doesn't stop individual bishops from denying them either.
Master, recently there was a conference of the U.S. Catholic bishops in Baltimore, and one of the matters discussed was the communion and its policy. And although it wasn't directly mentioned, a main reason for it is that Biden's support of abortion was criticized by some bishops. And some of them suggested that in this case, he should not receive communion. As a result of this conference, officials who support abortions, such as Biden, won't be declined the right to receive communion in general, but each bishop in his authority can still decide to give or not give communion. Would Master like to comment on this?
You mean the bishops have different opinion?
Yes, they do.
One says should not give him the sacred communion, and one says yes.
Yes, right.
Some are pro, some are against.
Yes.
I guess it's just, these are humans. Not all of them are enlightened. That's why there is a discussion. There should never be a discussion to begin with.
Yes, Master.
All the religious doctrines tell us thou shalt not kill.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's basic.
And they're killing en masse, 40, 50 million lives every year in the world.
Wow.
My God. And then many places complain that they don't have enough babies to have a younger generation growing.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Yeah. How can you even discuss abortion? There should not be any discussion about abortion, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine you and I have been aborted. Yeah, in such a gruesome way as I have seen it on, documentaries, films, and news. It's horrific.
It is horrible.
It's worse than hell.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like an evil practice, so they should not be discussing it. If they are so-called, priests and working for God, yeah?
Yes, Master.
Yeah, you can see that.
It's very clear.
But I'm glad, some of the priests are enlightened enough to at least obey the commandment from God and to protect lives, no matter how big, how small.
Yes.
We are praying predominantly for the successors of the apostles over there on the second floor. Many of them are blinded to the truth. They had their faith distorted, their catechism blurred, and now they and we are suffering the effects of that.
Here to get the message to the bishops that they should enforce Canon Rule 915, which does not allow people, politicians, who egregiously commit mortal sin, particularly abortion, and they should not receive Holy Communion.
Cordileone says he wouldn't give President Biden communion, in part because the president's publicly at odds with an issue the church considers very important.
We praise where we can, but we need to correct where we need to correct.
When they identify themselves as Catholics and then go on to say they support legalized abortion, that creates another problem because now they're misleading others to believe that, well, I'm a good Catholic and I'm doing this, so you can support abortion as well. His soul is in jeopardy, I believe. And when they use euphemisms, when you're violating fundamental human rights, you use euphemisms. And so you say this is healthcare for the poor. What other healthcare procedure does two people go in, one comes out dead and the other one's scarred emotionally, spiritually, and sometimes even physically? There's never a moral justification for the taking of an innocent human life. Abortion attacks life when it's most vulnerable, when it's least able to defend itself.
We've all seen ultrasounds. We've seen videos and we've seen still pictures of the babies at 10 weeks along. They're jumping and sliding and moving on the inside.
Especially the small humans, they are still helpless, yeah?
Yes.
They're just like flowers, not yet even bloomed. Or bloom halfway and waiting to have the full potential. This is a very, very sorrowful affair. And to even support that is worse than evil.
Yes, Master.
Religious leaders are supposed to primarily protect all lives.
Yes. As I told you many times, the devils, they only punish the bad ones. the fetuses, the babies, they are just so innocent.
Yes, absolutely.
I cannot believe it. The so-called priests who even support abortion, because if you give the sacred communion to any authority or any group or any person or any government leader who supports it, that means you encourage it.
Right.
At least you condone it, or at least you just don't make that person feel that it's a sin to do that. So to wake them up, instead of just let it be like that. How many more babies, unborn or just born and killed, in such a gruesome way before humanity wakes up and abolishes this evil atrocities even.
Right.
Even to kill animal people, you must not already.
Exactly.
And then in Moses' time, he had to endure it so that people didn't kill each other to eat.
Yes.
Like in the desert or something, they were short of food because they had been wandering in the desert
Yes.
and were maybe short of food. So Moses had to suffer to let them eat the animals, people. But we have a lot of other things to eat now. We have abundant food full of protein and nutrition everywhere.
It's true. Yes.
We should not even eat animal people anymore.
That's right.
Because all beings love life.
Right.
Okay, not to talk about killing your own species, your own blood and flesh, like babies in the womb. This is terrible.
62 million babies since 1973 is the entire population of California plus the entire population of the state of Florida. Florida is where I live. Florida, where we have protection for baby preborn sea turtles that are still in the eggs. If you go over to Pensacola Beach and you just disturb the preborn sea turtles buried in the sand by their mother, you can spend 1 year in jail and be fined $100,000. When you have 62 million babies' lives taken legally here in the United States, that is definitely doing evil in the sight of the Lord.
This is not fine, okay? Not fine.
No, it's not.
All these priests who condone or support or even ignore the great sin like this, they will all have to bear the consequences. To be tortured in hell, the way the babies in the womb have to endure. You see, but multiple times over. Because this is the way it is. Especially if you know already the right from wrong, being a priest.
Yes.
And you commit such a heinous crime, even mentally or just for any reason at all. It doesn't have to be that you kill that baby directly. You still have to bear the burden so that you will know what compassion means. You know what suffering is.
Yes, Master.
That's the law of the universe.
Yeah.
What you do to others will be done to you. It's just the law in this physical universe. No one can escape.
Right.
Especially the ones who already know and still commit the sin, okay?
Yes.
Master.
Or encourage others or condone the practice.
Yes. They still don't understand the consequences.
They are blind.
Oh, yes. How can they understand anything when they live so luxuriously? Big temple, big church, always full of everything they need, and even more than what they need, the luxury cars and houses,
Yes.
and being respected and trusted everywhere in the world. How can they know anything? How can they understand anything? They don't want to understand.
Yes, Master.
Just like a rich man born in richness and luxury would never understand what it feels like to be a homeless on the street, being harassed and looked down upon and molested and, insulted or whatever.
Yes, Master.
Cold and heat and hunger. He would not understand that.
Yeah.
He might read about it and assimilate it with the mental understanding of the vocabulary, but he will never understand truly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, only the enlightened one will understand all the suffering of others, even though he himself doesn't undergo it.
Right.
It's just like the Buddha, for example, or Jesus Christ, or other masters.
Yes.
It's not necessary that they were born poor or lacking anything. It's just that they have this great compassion in their hearts
Yes.
by nature, okay?
Yes.
I've been crying a lot, for all these animal people, babies who are so helpless. and the people treat them worse than in hell.
Oh, yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, worse than any criminals.
They don't deserve this in any way.
No, even the criminals, they will have a lawyer to argue for them,
Yes.
Yes.
or reduce the sentence, or even have to have all the evidence in order to punish their crime. But these babies, they did nothing wrong.
Right.
Yes, it's really heartless.
I don't know what else to say. Is there anything else you want to tell me? I read some of this news also briefly because I don't have a lot of time, so I know what you're talking about. Any other things?
Yes, Master. One of the arguments during the conference by some bishops who think that pro-abortion politicians should continue to be able to participate in the sacrament was that otherwise it will be divisive and will politicize communion.
San Diego Bishop Robert McElroy wrote last month that weaponizing the Eucharist will bring the terrible partisan divisions that have plagued our nation into the very act of worship.
Is this true, Master?
No, it's not true. If they want to be united and undivided, then they should be one with the teaching of Jesus,
Yes.
Understand,
of
Master.
God, of the Bible, you see?
Yes.
Yes.
Thou shalt not kill. Very simple.
Right.
There's nothing to argue about.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they are priests even.
Exactly.
They know all these commandments by heart.
Yes.
They lack nothing. People worship them and trust them, so they should guide people into a righteous way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm glad you asked me all these questions. I was going to talk about it anyway,
Mm.
and I'm glad you asked so we can also talk together.
Yes, Master.
Yes. We are so glad, Master.
Yeah, terrible, terrible, terrible.
Yes.
My God, it's more than a horror film.
Yes, so scary.
My God, and it happens every day.
Yes.
Every day, how many innocent, poor babies, helpless, defenseless, die in such agony.
Yes, Master.
And because the priest and the so-called Pope, the king of the Catholic Empire, encourage them.
Yes.
Yes.
Not like he say, okay, go ahead and do abortions, but he encourages by silently acknowledging it's okay, by not saying anything against
Yes,
it,
Master.
Yes, Master.
by not advising the faithful, please don't do that, unless it's truly, truly necessary for the life of the baby or the life of the mother or both.
Yes,
Yes.
Master.
They are the ones who should light the torch of wisdom and righteousness and moral concepts for the people to follow.
True.
Yes.
That's what people trusted them for.
Exactly.
Right.
And be a big church for them to live in and to be a big shop.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
If you just condone or support anything, then you are the same as the evildoer.
Yes. True.
They should teach the people the commandments. Thou shalt not kill. Anything you don't want to be done to yourself, don't do it to others. That's very simple.
Yes, it is.
Even children 5 years old understand that.
Right.
Suppose these priests are still babies in the womb, would they like their arms to be twisted out,
No.
No.
pulled out, and then another arm and another leg and the body and then the brain
Oh,
crushed out like that?
for sure not.
Nobody will like that.
Nobody. And
Nobody.
ask the priests themselves if they like to be like that
Yeah.
in the womb, huh? So that they cannot be a person right now and talking big like that.
Yes.
Blessed are those priests, you true priests, who are pro-life, for life and compassion.
Yes, Master.
These are what the priests are supposed to be. And whoever condones warlike, because this is a war also.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
The Bible teaches that you have to love one another because you're all brothers, you are children from God. How can you go ahead and kill another brother or sister of yours, even if they are your children, unborn children?
Understand, Master.
In God's house, they are all brothers and sisters. They're not even parents or children,
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
because all are created by God. God wanted them to be in the world, to do something, to help others.
Yes.
Yes.
Imagine if we have no more babies left and we all die out at the end.
Yes.
Not good.
You think God wants that?
No, not at all.
No, God created the world for us to live and to continue living.
Yes, Master.
Yeah?
Right.
Passing on generation after generation.
Uh-huh.
Even Jesus had to be born into this world in order to rescue souls. his disciples at that time,
Yes.
or his generation at that time, those are worthy.
Right.
Yes.
His disciples, the most worthy, and their families. Every master who comes, they rescue the disciples' souls, and also the families and relatives that belong to that initiated soul as well.
Okay, Master.
Yeah, and if this disciple has done nothing against the master and practices diligently and believes in the master, then for sure his relatives and family and generations all will be liberated by his or her master. You got that?
Yes,
Got it,
Master.
Master.
Only if they do what has been taught to them. Yes?
Yes.
Keep the commandments, meditate, pray, humbly, be grateful to God, and help the needy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, they have to meditate
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
to collect more energy and power to themselves in order to go with the master,
Yes.
Understand.
and also to bless the surroundings where they live. So more people, then more blessings will be in the world. More disciples, more blessings.
Right.
It's like an electric grid distributes electricity through different channels, different cables.
Yes.
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 Yes, Master.
Yes, the more cables, the more channels, the more people will benefit from the electricity, even in remote mountains and rural areas and all that.
Right. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. When I was in Vietnam, still many rural areas did not have electricity.
Oh.
We live in a more suburb of the town. We did not have electricity. We use lamp,
Yes. Yes.
or we use oil lamp, or other kind of lamp, which doesn't need electricity. I think they use gas or something. But mostly in rural areas in those times, they did not even need electricity. They lived simple.
Right. Yes.
They would rise up with the sun and go to sleep with it.
Yes.
Yeah. And all they need is just a couple of lamps, oil lamps, small ones,
Yes.
Yes.
old-fashioned.
Yes.
That's all. They're contented with their life.
Yeah. Simple life.
Yeah, many did not have a television, nothing. Maximum maybe a radio using batteries. That's it.
Yes.
Radio, that's what they had. And not all of them had.
Oh, yes.
Many rural areas in Vietnam, they live very simple before. Now maybe they all have electricity already. I don't know. I have not been home for 30, 40 years now.
Oh.
No, 60 years. No. Maybe 50 years or more, huh?
Wow. Long
Yeah.
time.
Long time, Master.
Yeah, time passes so quick.
Yes.
Was that your question? Did I answer already?
Yes, Master, you did. Thank you.
Okay. The priests are like the lighthouse for the faithful of different religions.
Yes.
Yes.
They must be first enlightened in order to guide others. If in your hand you don't have any torch, how can you light the path for other people who don't even have anything?
True.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
And if your torch has no battery, is not charged, and you yourself also stumble in the dark, how can you lead anybody?
Right.
Yes, Master.
Understand, Master.
Most of the priests or monks and nuns, they just wear the robe.
True.
They don't consider having more knowledge or true enlightenment from inside.
They are just pretending.
That's why, like those priests that you just mentioned, they are truly the wolf in sheep's clothing, as the Bible mentioned it. The Bible warned us that beware of those wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yes.
These priests are. The Pope also is. Of course,
Yes.
by thy fruits so thou shalt be known.
Yes, Master.
If you see the apples all over on the tree, then, well, what kind of tree is that?
Yeah.
Apple.
Apple tree.
Yes.
If you see mango all over on a tree, then what kind of tree is that?
Mango.
Yes.
Mango tree. Very simple.
Very simple.
Yes.
Yes. And if the mango tree has a lot of fruits, then it's a good mango.
Mango tree.
Mango tree.
Good mango tree.
Yes.
So if these priests are not following the teaching of Jesus, and on the contrary, even saying things, doing things that are harmful to humanity, then there are truly wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
The Catholic Church has a terrible history of protecting abusers instead of protecting victims.
For 17 years, legal scholar Marcy Hamilton has fought for laws that give victims of child sex abuse more time to file claims. And in state capitals across the country, the Catholic Church has been her adversary.
The Roman Catholic Church betrayed the trust of the young and vulnerable on a devastating scale around the world.
It was basically a mafia. They have powerful friends. They have benefactors. They have people who want to be associated as being close to the church.
And it's been going on for over 300 years. And the Vatican has it all, and it's documented. And they're more powerful than our government.
These are people who should actually be facing criminal charges now, not just sanctions at the hands of the Pope or the Church or the attention of the media. These are people who have allegedly allowed the abuse of children to continue, sometimes for many years, and that is an unforgivable crime.
Those who molest children, rape young children, or teenage altar boys or girls from faithful families, they should be tried in the normal civil court, just like everyone else.
Yes, Master.
The clothes that they wear does not exempt them from their sin.
Yes.
I understand, Master.
Yeah, any citizens in this world are world citizens, and they have to be respected like any citizen who is law-abiding. And any citizens who are sinful and bad and harmful to society should be tried like every other criminal in the normal court.
Yes,
Yes.
Master.
Yes.
Just because they are priests in the Catholic system, it doesn't make them free from persecution.
Punishment.
Yeah, if they do something wrong, like molesting children or doing something harmful to others, they are just like a criminal.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone.
Just like any other criminal.
Yes, Master.
Master.
They should not be allowed to continue their office.
Exactly.
The clothes don't make a monk. That's what we say in Vietnam. Or maybe many other countries.
Understand, Master.
And as the Bible says, the wolf in the sheep's clothing doesn't make that wolf a sheep.
Right.
Right. Yes,
So
Master.
just because they work with the Vatican doesn't mean other governments' laws don't apply to them. If they harm their citizens, for example, if an American goes to France and does some bad things there, harms or kills other French people, they will be tried in France as well.
Right. Yes.
If not, they could even be extradited to America and be tried there.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
But tried they will be.
Yeah.
The Vatican is nothing. It's empty if there are no morals, no Jesus teachings practiced there.
Yes, Master.
Understand,
It's
Master.
just empty walls. The priests there are empty shells.
Yes.
Right.
The clothes will not cover their sins, heaven or earth.
Yes, Master.
Yes.
Yeah. So there is no excuse for these people. But the Vatican did almost nothing up to now. Just talk a few, maybe one or two times. Thank the journalists for discovering it, for reporting it. What's the use of that?
Right.
Yeah?
Yes.
But only after many years, after a lot of pressure, they say something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing sympathizing for the poor children, no compensation for them, nothing.
Right.
For the families who suffer, and for the children who suffer all their lives because of all this nightmare, that reality nightmare.
Yes.
This is what he wrote. We have grown to love one another very deeply. We are more than friends, and we are more than father and son.
These words, written by the Catholic priest who abused him as a child, have haunted 55-year-old Mark Crawford for 3 decades.
It doesn't go away. It never goes away. It's always there.
Crawford says Father Kenneth Martin became a family friend in the late 70s, then began abusing Crawford when he was 15.
Him being like a father figure to me versus the torment of the abuse. It becomes very tangled, very complicated for a child.
The abuse continued weekly and only ended after Crawford left home for college. But when he returned, he discovered Father Martin had begun abusing his younger brother. For Crawford, the trauma grew worse when he discovered the church official he had reported the abuse to faced a scandal of his own. Cardinal Theodore McCarrick resigned in July. He's accused of abusing adults and children for decades.
How can you still have trust or faith in an institution where at the highest level these men protected each other?
Oh, I'm through with this Vatican. I think they should just go away. Hide somewhere without humans so that they cannot harm any of us anymore. They are worse than evil. They're worse than any dictators, any ruthless army, anything, because they have power in their hands. They can just wield it to harm humans. We cannot accept this.
No, Master.
Truly, we cannot accept it. They themselves should be fired or just like run away somewhere.
Right.
Okay, go hide themselves in some desert or somewhere, or rotten anywhere, who cares? Because the longer they live, the more they harm humans and babies and children. You understand me?
Understand, Master. Understand.
Yeah. I don't know why the world doesn't do anything.
It is strange.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know why the law doesn't apply to them. You know, if American citizens commit some crime in France or in England, they would try them the same like their own citizen. Or even if they're deported to their own original country, they'll be tried there.
Yes.
Or they even be tried in the International Criminal Court
Yes.
for the crimes against humanity. These priests from the Catholic Church who harm the children, who molest them, who rape them, who torture them, who kill them, they are the criminals against humanity. They should even be tried in The Hague, in that international court. If no other country can try them, they could try them there.
Yes, Master.
Otherwise, they continue to do all these sins and harm too many more children. Now and in the future, as I'm talking to you, I don't know how many children are suffering in darkness, in obscurity, and nobody cares. Yeah, and afterwards, they just make them disappear.
Oh,
so scary.
Like many unnamed graves just have been discovered. Even in America recently, before it was in Canada, in those schools. Yeah, imagine that.
Wow.
Yeah, and many, countless of children or women disappear every year.
No, it's terrible.
Everywhere. Yeah, it's not always the professional criminals who do it. It's the priests who did all this.
They are worse than criminals.
Yeah, worse than criminals because they are protected.
Right.
Yes.
Nobody suspects. And even if they know about it, they suspect it, they still continue to let them hold a big office even.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, so they can continue behind the door and be more skilled in molesting children.
My God.
And nobody even knows. They will be more careful now, more skilled now.
Yes, Master.
And if they're discovered again, the Pope will just forgive them.
Oh, my God.
No. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yes, no.
Master.
Did nothing. So this Vatican or the churches that are stained with blood or with mental cruelty should be abolished.
Right.
Yes.
Make it into an orphanage or something to atone the sins of humans.
Agree. Yes.
What for the church exists? To do what? Every day just repeat the Bible, which they don't understand, which they don't even care anyway. Obviously, evidently, they don't do according to the Bible.
No.
So what's the use? Anybody can go into the Vatican and read the Bible.
Yes.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah?
Right.
Right.
And then everybody even cult hosts to you for doing nothing. What are they doing? They're doing nothing.
Exactly.
Whatever charity they do is the money of the lay people who make orphanages and all that.
Yes.
Ah, yes, Master.
They do nothing.
Oh, man.
It's terrible that they lead the people in very wrong direction.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, in the evil direction.
Yes.
Not just wrong, but
Yes.
evil.
Evil direction.
Oh, if we're talking about it, I just feel my heart cannot bear. Oh, and have pain in the neck and all that, truly.
Oh, Master.
The pain is sometimes unbearable.
Oh, Master.
If you have physical wounds or pain, people know, but this is a mental pain, emotional pain,
Yes, Master.
spiritual pain that nobody can see.
Oh, Master.
Only I know it. And even then, I feel not as bad as those children, the victims, who were so helpless and so frightened, so horrified, so scared and so alone, with all this big fat priest squashing on them.
Oh, God.
Clergy sexually violating children.
And lives forever changed.
They took your soul.
It's evil, is the only way that I could put it.
As a child, you never forget that face.
I would beg God to let me die. Please let me die, because I don't want him to do this to me anymore.
I never really blamed him, I blamed myself. And that self-blame, over time, became a kind of self-hatred.
It never occurred to me to tell anybody. When the head teacher's been abusing you, who do you tell? Put it into a cupboard in my head, and I shut the cupboard door.
He's had constant nightmares and flashbacks, and has been diagnosed with PTSD.
With the beginning of my keeping that secret, it was like there was this little poison inside of me.
That led to depression, isolation, and suicidal thoughts. It also led to alcohol and drug abuse.
Sister Judith Fisher. She was 37. I was 13 years old. That's when my world changed.
She took my life, she took my sexuality, she took my spirituality. She ruined any boundaries that I ever had in my life. I lost my family over her. I'm in recovery now. Since 1994, I've been stumbling with this.
You hurt a child that deep, it's a spiritual rape. And you are, like, branded for life. So from now on, it colors everything. I can't imagine something happened to me in life that would hurt me like this has. It's the kind of wound that stays, no matter how strong you are, no matter how much therapy you get, no matter how many loves you have, or diversions or excuses. It's a spiritual rape. It really is. It really is. It doesn't go away. It steals your faith. I envy people who have faith.
I stopped going to church.
You lost your faith?
Lost my faith. Yeah. You see how the church in Boston tried to sweep things under the carpet, and you read about cases in this country and other parts of the world. I lost my faith. Yeah.
Ah! Please, God, do something. You cannot let this world be like this, controlled by all this evil wolf in the sheepskin. Please, please, they are making a bloody butcher shop of your holy churches and Vatican as well. Please, please help us. Help the children. Help the helpless babies and children, please. They're too powerful for the humans. Humans have been so brainwashed and so subdued into believing anything they say, but they are not priests. They are not preaching your teaching. They are killing the babies and children. They're doing exactly opposite of what you are teaching and Jesus teaches. Please, just please make them disappear. Make them go somewhere else without humans, without children, so they can never lay their hands on them ever again. They can never touch any of their hair. Please. Oh, please, God. Oh, in the name of humanity, I pray you, please do something. I cannot keep crying anymore. My eyes hurt so much. I could not work for you if I don't have eyes. Every day, sometimes I have time and I care of my eyes, but I cannot continue like this. I took rest, I put some cold water on it, but then I have to continue working. And if I keep crying again, sometimes I try so hard. I try so hard not to cry because I have to protect these eyes to work for you. To work for you. God, please help us. Please help us. Okay, can you have anything more to say?
We cannot just imagine how hard it is on Master. What is so terrible to hear the pain, Master.
I'm not the only one. I'm sure many other people who are sensitive to the pain of the children and babies, they would feel the same. If nobody feels it, then this world is truly a hell. Truly just zombies. Just like Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead, meaning they had no souls with them. They're just zombies. All these priests, they're also zombies. I hope people wake up and don't worship them, don't respect them, don't listen to their wrong, evil view. Please, just use your own judgment. Protect your own babies and your own children. Please, don't send them into their evil arms. Because they will harm them. Don't listen to them and kill your babies in the womb. You rescue your baby. As if you see some baby helpless on the street, you would take it into your arms and bring somewhere safe. Do that to your own babies in the womb, please. They are your flesh and blood. Don't listen to these evil priests. Please don't, because you will go to hell. You will go to hell if you kill your babies. Let those priests go to hell, not you. Please don't kill your babies. Don't send your innocent children to the church to do some God service and then get abused by these so-called priests. Please don't. Please think carefully, please. Please protect the children. You have to protect your children. I cannot do it. I wish I could. I wish I could protect all the children and babies in this world. Oh, please, dear God. And I plead with all the governments. They have to check on all these priests. They have to give some sentence or some judgment so that other priests don't follow.
Yes.
And do harmful things to the helpless children.
Yes.
How come they're all quiet like cowards? They're all scared of the church's power because they're worried that the faithful won't vote for them if they go against the church. Who cares about the church? Who cares about all these priests? If you're not voted for, you're not voted for. Whatever God wants to assign to you, you have it. Do not be scared. Stand up and protect the children, your children, your citizens' children. In our life, if anybody molests the children, just one of the children, they go to jail.
Yes.
How come these priests, these fat, big, evil priests can do anything with the children and they got away with it and continue? What for you in a high position as a government leader and country leader and have your law and justice system? What for all that? And you can't even protect the children. You are useless. You're wasting the taxpayers' money. Then you should resign if you don't dare do anything good. Just protect your own position. Then you're not worthy to sit there. God will judge you also if you keep silent. Because it's the same like, if you keep silent, it means you condone something.
Yes.
Keeping silent is like being an accomplice.
Yes.
You partake of that crime and that sin.
Yes.
If the world doesn't judge you, heaven will.
Yes.
Hell will.
Yeah. Keep these crimes in such a silence from people, and many people maybe still not aware. Keeping this from people is also a crime.
Yeah. Ask me something else. Anything else?
Yes, Master. During the conference of the Catholic bishops,
Yeah.
Archbishop Joseph Naumann of Kansas City, who is pro-life, called for bishops to find common ground where politicians agree with the Church's vision for the dignity of the human person. But he also urged them not to be afraid to fulfill their obligations, to let them know how serious it is to dissent from Church teaching.
Yeah.
Master, why there are still some bishops who won't fully agree with that? Why would a person of the faith be afraid to act on the protecting of basic human rights and teachings of the Church?
Yeah, because they are evil. Also listen to the Pope who supports that way of doing.
Yes.
Because they are afraid. Even not to talk about they are evil or not. The Pope and these are against Archbishop Naumann, against the pro-life, because they're afraid to lose their faithful, physically, materially speaking, not to talk about spiritual, okay?
Yes.
They're afraid because I read somewhere in the news that 60% of the Catholic believers support abortion, say abortion is okay.
Yes.
It comes from the top.
Yes.
The Pope knows that most of the devoted Catholics are women, yeah?
Yes.
So he's afraid to lose them if he goes against their will.
I understand, Master.
So this is all for fame and gain.
Oh, God.
It's all church politics.
Yes.
There are also religious politics and there are also secular politics.
Yes, Master.
They're all politics. Because
Yes.
they're not enlightened. They don't understand a thing about what the Bible says. And even if they understand, it's just minimal.
Yes.
Right.
They're just to be a big shot. So people worship them and make donations to them, and just life is too good.
Right.
Life is too good to lose. Their lifestyle.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, anybody just goes in and then studies the Bible, and after a while you become a priest, and then if you stay longer, you become a cardinal and archbishop, and maybe you become a pope.
It's just a
Yeah,
hierarchy.
just that. Nothing. What do they teach the people? Huh? If they don't teach the basic commandments, what do they teach? What do the church exist for?
Yes.
Right.
What are the priests there for?
Understand,
Yes,
Master.
A blind leads the multiple people into the ditch together.
Oh, gosh.
You can see that.
Yes, it's
You
clear.
don't have to say who you are, what you know, or what level you are. Your action, your speech
Exactly.
Yes.
are very loud instruments to proclaim who you are.
Yes.
If you are ignorant, that's what you do. And not just ignorant, maybe evil inside.
Yes.
In the sheep's clothing, the wolf.
Yes,
So
Master.
anyone that has to do with it will be harmed. Because the people believe in them, and harm maybe not even physically only, but mentally, spiritually. You see that?
Yes, yes.
They lead them farther and farther from God because they do exactly the opposite of God's commandments and God's teaching.
Right.
You can see that very well, okay?
Yeah, it's very clear, Master.
And I don't know why people still believe in them. They've been brainwashed since a young child already. Go to the church and listen to all this evil garbage. You got that?
Yes, Master.
That's why 60% of the Catholics are okay with abortion. Huh?
Yes.
And we take another look now at our EWTN News Real Clear Opinion Research poll of Catholic voters in America. Tonight, their views on vital moral issues that involve intrinsically evil acts, those considered by the church as always immoral at all times, regardless of intention or circumstances. The poll found 72% of Catholics surveyed believe certain acts are intrinsically evil, but less than half would say abortion, euthanasia, or physician-assisted suicide would fit that definition.
Yeah, what kind of religion is this, huh?
This is so
It's a
bad.
basic.
And in another breath, they condemn Muslim terrorists and all that. They are also terrorists in a different way.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
It's just more legal and, oh,
Different
God.
form.
No, all this evil. No wonder John Lennon said, wonder what the world would be like without religion. Probably a better place.
True.
And people don't go to church because they don't believe it anymore. And then they say, oh, these are atheists.
Yes.
The priests who are doing criminal activities like that, or molesting children, they are worse than atheists. At least the atheists, they have their own morals. They don't go around just harming anybody.
Yes.
Or abusing any power to do harm, just for their own gain and position.
Yes.
You know, all these priests who don't dare to directly say their opinion about opposing abortion or refusing Biden's communion is because they're afraid, I think, okay?
Yes.
Afraid for their position, afraid of vengeance, afraid of losing the position, afraid of losing the congregation.
Yes, Master.
Yes, Master.
We're in Wilmington, Delaware, in front of the rectory, the parsonage, the home of Bishop Mullooly, who is Joe Biden's bishop. After years and years of public scandal, not one time has Bishop Mullooly said anything about Biden receiving communion, about Biden promoting the murder of babies, about Biden saying that he wants taxpayer money to pay for the murder of babies. Not one public word from Bishop Mullooly regarding this horrific public scandal and this public betrayal of God and of righteousness and of babies. 60 million children are dead. And the bishops of this country, by and large, there's a handful of exceptions, thank you God, but the bishops of this country are in a conspiracy of silence. They are not telling the truth, and they know the truth. Is it from fear? Is it from the want of government money? Is it from the desire to have rich Democrats who are in their diocese continue to support them financially? I don't know. It really doesn't matter. Their motivation, whatever is crippling them, whatever has literally disemboweled them of courage, castrated them, whatever it is, that's not the issue. The issue is that they need to repent, throw off the shackles, and do their duty as shepherds. Protect the sheep and stop protecting and defending wolves.
Even the Pope, I saw it on the video in the news, he even bowed his head in front of Biden. Believe that or not?
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow.
He is officially the king of this Catholic system and the so-called representative of God on earth. And he bowed to a secular power.
Wow.
Meaning the lay power, the worldly power.
Yes.
He really kept bowing his head.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. That wasn't humility. He knows already this guy is bad. And he bowed, kowtowed to him.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah, that's what I told you before. I can't believe it, that the religious head kowtows to the secular one.
Yes,
Master.
Just to try to keep himself on that seat, on the chair of the Vatican.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, it should be vacant, not Vatican. Vacant, gone. All these people who live in there who have no morals, no stable faith in Jesus' teaching, and no fear of God should be gone, vacant out of the Vatican.
Yes, Master. Yes.
So now you know, okay?
Yes, Master.
You see, of course, these priests, they normally just don't know how to deal with politicians.
Yes.
And it's like in the case of the United States, Biden, they may be scared also because of his demon power.
Oh.
Yeah, even makes the Pope bow down.
Yes.
Yeah, the Pope has less demon power than Biden. And I told you already long ago.
Understand.
These are invisible things. Only some people can see. Many
Yes.
can see. Yeah, at least 90 people in the United States of America saw that. So he's a dark energy, Biden. And we don't talk about that even. Just the obvious things, physical things. Anybody who criticizes Biden or doesn't agree with him, they go to jail. Even one of the army lieutenants or something just voiced his opinion about the Afghanistan withdrawal.
Right, yes.
He just voiced his opinion like there are other alternative ways to do better.
Yes.
And then he got punished, went to jail.
Right, yes.
Or punished in some way. I forgot. It was in the news. It's still there.
Yes.
US Republicans are accusing the military of double standards over a Marine facing a court-martial for criticizing the Biden administration's pullout from Afghanistan. It is in stark contrast to another officer who was hailed as a hero for standing up to the Trump administration.
Scheller was an active duty U.S. Marine whose frustration over the bungled retreat from Kabul led to making videos bashing Biden and the Pentagon brass that quickly went viral.
People are upset because their senior leaders let them down, and none of them are raising their hands and accepting accountability or saying, we messed this up. I'm not saying we've got to be in Afghanistan forever, but I am saying, did any of you throw your rank on the table and say, hey, it's a bad idea to evacuate Bagram Airfield, a strategic air base, before we evacuate everyone? I am submitting charges against General McKenzie for his bad assumptions. Not because I'm vindictive, but because the senior leaders need to be held accountable to the same standard as us.
He's now accused of breaking 4 laws, though there are not formal charges yet. Now, Scheller is not the first military man to raise a voice about issues. Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman was on active duty when he first spoke up against the Pentagon brass. He testified at Trump's impeachment proceedings as a Pentagon whistleblower. He claimed that Donald Trump had made a quid pro quo with the president of Ukraine. He was anointed by mainstream media and the Democrats as a saint. Military leaders who criticized Donald Trump got talk show appearances and book deals, treated almost like heroes, while one who just criticized Biden is facing a hearing and a potentially long-term spell behind bars.
And even one person just mentioned some Brandon or something name.
Right.
Maybe he's associated with something else, but then he's fired.
Oh.
Yeah, a pilot fired.
Yes.
Southwest Airlines launching an internal investigation after a pilot mentioned the anti-Biden phrase, let's go Brandon, over the intercom on a flight from Houston to New Mexico. The line has taken the internet by storm after it originated at a NASCAR race last month. There's now a social media push to boycott or cancel the airline.
Maybe many other instances, and I did not read them. I don't really like gossip too much. I just, by the way, I just read it because it's right there.
Yes,
yeah.
I saw it also.
So they get punished by Biden or his administration if they do something against him.
Right, yeah.
Those were just small things even.
Right, yes.
Imagine if you're against his policy, like killing babies. I don't know what kind of punishment they will get. And the priests, they are not like the Pope. They don't have any bodyguards or anything.
Yes.
So they are afraid. They might not be all evil. Not all of them are evil. Just some of them are influenced by the evil force from other priests.
Yes.
Or feel very afraid of vengeance. And I told you already.
Yes, Master.
Not like under Trump. People call him all kind of names, liken him to even animals, people, and all that. All kinds of names, and criticize him or slander him outright on the mainstream media. Even the famous reporter calling him a dead turtle, stuff like that.
Really bad.
And get nothing.
Yes.
It's just after Trump is out of the White House, they lose so many, a huge number of audience, of viewers. So that's why now and then they still have to attack him or mention him so that they get viewers back.
Yes, really cruel.
And many people betray him, even his family, relatives betray him and call him all kinds of names or recount all kinds of negative things. His employees before and all that, saying all kinds of lies just to sell the books. And they earn so much money and attention.
Yes.
Degrading President Trump and then get all the attention and all the money.
Yes.
Compared to under Biden.
Yes, it's really not equal.
Yeah, so the priests, they are scared. The treatment is different. The punishment is harsher under Biden.
Understand.
Under Trump, they earn money at his expense, telling all kinds of negative things about him and then get more good attention and big money.
Understand.
So many books are written about him or around him or of him. I don't know if any other president ever had so much books written about him.
Yes.
And mostly negative even.
Yes.
And earn money and get all the attention from the mainstream media.
Right.
You see, it's really sad, but it's so ridiculously funny, huh?
Yes, they seem not to be afraid of Trump, actually.
Yeah, because they know he's sweet.
Yes.
He's gentle, even though sometimes he seems like irritated. But it was because of all bad energy around him from the White House.
Yes.
And all this pressure and unfair treatment all around him from all directions.
Yeah.
And he's just very...
He's soft inside.
He didn't do anything. I mean, he doesn't need revenge in anything.
Yes, he's not going after them.
He doesn't do any revenge. So now, you know, maybe this is one big reason why other priests are afraid.
Understand. But still, fear should not control the bishops.
Of course, but they worry. The bishops, they just don't know much about political power. They're afraid. They see things of vengeance around them like that.
Yes.
They worry. Also, the Pope even pressed them down.
Yes, yes.
So, two big powers. Religious power, top is the Pope. They're Catholic, so in the Catholic system power, the top is the Pope. And the American top power is Biden. So, both of these powers pressure down on them. So, they should be afraid.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Mostly they are older priests already.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. And they don't have anything to protect themselves. Not all of them have good protection.
Understand. It's a pity that things should work this way.
Yeah, I know. Just let you know why. That's all. Okay, Hal?
Yes, Master. Thank you.